Sublime magnificence. Yep. And so that's how they end the first season. Now, going into the second season, or the second season, we have a sports festival. Woo!
Yep.
It's gonna be regular stuff. Nothing too crazy now.
Only
Um,
only 60 new characters we're going to introduce suddenly. Um, no pressure. They all look 5% alike. But
look, but at the same time, there are characters where it's like, okay, you clearly matter more than other people. Um,
right, of course, like Monoma. Monoma
yeah,
Monoma is a new introduction that gets a lot of screen time in a section of episodes there. Uh
Copy Man, Shinzo, uh, extra creepy
um
dude at the start.
Ida becomes a big character in season 2. He has that whole episode basically dedicated to him with the class president thing.
hmm
And then yeah, he's a big feature throughout the games.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like about early show is fucking Deku starts building his little team. You know, his little friendship team of
Yeah.
like Uraraka, Ida, Frog Chicken Mineta think he's cool too. Meanwhile, you also got other little factions starting to form in the class, like the Bakugo faction eventually, which is just, him, Hard Dude, Bug Chick, and Tape Man. Eventually in the series, the Lightning Boy is also pretty much
Yeah, I
a
was gonna say, doesn't
Bakugo.
he already bounce around with them a little bit?
I think so, but he definitely, as the series goes on, it's primarily like he's Team Bakugo, if you will.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, they're gonna have a sports festival because you can kind of make money and set up your future career path if you give a good enough
Well,
impression.
yeah, yeah, I think so. Somebody explains it at one point that ever since superheroes became so prevalent, like nobody watches the Olympics anymore because you have super, like it's what's the point of the Olympics? So
Yeah.
this is this school doing this event has kind of just replaced the Olympics.
Yeah, because it's the Olympics with superpowers. And yeah, which also when you talk about the 60 people, it goes to show they eventually go to show like there's more to this school than just a hero course. It's like, oh yeah, no, that's just a major you can have here. No, you can still
Right.
do business and gadgetry and all the other stuff. Other professions exist. It's not just a hero world. But also we're gonna be focused on the heroes.
Yeah, no, but like the business section of the school is very funny when they get their little 5 minute moment in one of the episodes of just like, ah, yes, his power is very attractive to blah 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 blah. We could market it like this, but he is this, blah, blah, blah. And
These
just
guys
try.
know they don't have any chance in the athletic portion, so they just kind of brainstorm. Yeah, we had the opening race. Oh no, we had Bakugo make his speech at the beginning because everybody has like their little things. Bakugo, because he had the top scores for the hero portion in the testing exams, they're like, say a speech. And he just goes, I'm gonna win. Much to the chagrin of everybody there, rightfully so. And meanwhile, Todoroki calls out Midoriya because he found out All Might likes him. And they do kind of drop the lingo as well that he is the son of the number two ranked hero in the world, Endeavor, who is this big fire dude who's covered in fire and his facial hair is fire. And his son has ice, but refuses to use the fire powers. um, for reasons that we'll get into in a moment. But yeah, we had the round one race.
So this is where I'm like, yeah, is this his move? Is this his show?
It really
Like
starts.
with each episode, Midoriya has a deep conversation with one of his buddies where you exit it and you're like, damn, is their story better than the main characters? Like that's a pretty good story. Are they should we be focused on them?
Yeah, like that. Yeah, he's one. The more they talk about like you root for people like your Uraraka who's like, I don't have anything too noble. I just want my family to be happy and I want to pay them back for everything they gave me.
Hmm.
Like bad. Like, well, ain't that just cute? Good for you, Uraraka. Fucking, but yeah, Shoto's like, my dad, he fucking practiced eugenics to make me against my mom's will. I hate him. I want him gone. And I'm gonna be the best without using his powers. I'm exactly what he wants. So yeah, Endeavor realized he can't touch All Might no matter how great he is. He's number two, and he can't accept that he's the number two hero because he wants to be the number one hero. But he
Right.
eventually
Looks
taps out.
ridiculous. You're never gonna be the number one hero looking like that.
He eventually though taps out. Well, kind of taps out. He's like, well, if I can't do it, I'm gonna make a son that is stronger than All Might. And so he thought of a good idea because, and it's something that they kind of explain a bit later, and they kind of explained it in the tournament too. But Endeavor's heat powers, which as the series goes on, are very impressive, come with a side effect that his body can overheat. And it does detriment to him if he's too much, if he burns too much too highly. So he found a woman who has a quirk with ice. And if his body could make ice powers to cool to regulate his body temperature, he could be as hot as he fucking wants because he's got the ice powers. But obviously, he can't have two quirks, but his kid possibly could.
Mhm.
But it wasn't the first kid, nor was it the second or third. It was the fourth. And as we would come to learn, he's not the most, he was a little bit, though he's a hero on the streets, he ain't a hero at home. Ah, and he treated the wife poorly. She burned the kid's face because you talk about like how much of a focus Shoto is, and yeah, they're just like, "Damn, is this your story? You're better than everybody." You when they finally get out of the race thing, which your boy Meteora wins,
Mhm.
because what's their names are too focused on each other.
Right.
Bakugo and Todoroki and Midori is like, I don't give a fuck about neither of y'all motherfuckers. So he beats them. Then we had the cavalry thing, which was also kind of cool. We talk about
It's
like,
yeah, it required a lot of setup.
yeah,
Like almost an entire episode was just kind of explaining
how this works.
how this game works that you're about ready to see another full episode depicting. Um, um, but once we got into it, it was yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like the different team strategies.
And also really fucked up for that person who came in first at the race.
10 million points. Oh, so we're all targeting this dude, and no one wants to team up with them except for Uraraka, who we figured, and we get Psycho Bitch, or I forget her name, Hatsune Mei, the fucking tech girl who's just crazy. Uh, and she
I loved
decides to
her
join the
fight
team.
later in the last round, where they're just fighting head to head with each other. Where yeah, she's just like I'm gonna use this as an infomercial, and I'm done.
She literally takes the whole time limit to be like, these are everything that I make. And in perfect working order, perfect demo. Thank you. I'm going to quit now. I've done everything I've needed to do for this whole tournament. Goodbye.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it.
But speaking of Ida, he starts getting some focus too as this goes on because they start talking more about his family and his brother, who's dealing with some dude named the Hero Killer Stain, who's a weird, creepy dude with a sword and a tongue. Um, that they teased at the end of season one. But yeah, meanwhile, yeah, eventually we get to I did like the cavalry battle because like the three main teams, your fucking Shoto or Todoroki, Deku, Bakugo, each of them when they came up with their like ideas for their teams and the teams like actually working with the dynamic, what's his name? Like, hey, I got the ability to fly because I'm gonna need to be able to fly above everybody with this jetpack or Uraraka or even Birdman. I gotta get away from people. Todoroki had his smart thing where he got like Momo and Shocky Boy and someone else to join him. And then Bakugo had Kirishima, the hard guy, walk up to him and be like, "You like explosions. I can be immune. Let's fucking go." And then they get Acid Girl and Tape Dude. Because, which ends up working real well for Bakugo's strategy because he likes just jumping and flying ahead, and Tape Dude just retracts him back to the horse so they can
Yeah.
attack you from a range. I'm like, oh God. But yeah, that comes down to its whole head, and Shoto wins that, much to Bakugo's chagrin, because now he's lost twice after telling everybody that he was gonna win.
Insufferable. He's insufferable.
Hey, you gotta sometimes you gotta lose. It'd be that way. But then we get to the tournament itself. And yeah, we got Deku versus the dude that can talk, and that's its own cool little moment. But Deku wins, and they hint a little bit
I'm
at his
really interested.
powers.
Like that dude gets, very limited screen time, and I'm incredibly interested in his story.
Yeah.
Oh, a good guy who has that power set, thus every single person in his life questions every moment of their life with him. The second they know about his powers. Yeah, I would love to, but and like that guy struggles to be a good guy. I'd
Hmm.
love to see that. None of these comments are necessarily negative towards Deku. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
that all
just
of these supporting characters are very fleshed out and have very interesting backstories.
hmm. Um, but yeah, they have that fight happens. Bakugo fights Uraraka or the Gravity Girl. Shoto beats Tape Guy. Other people lose easily in the first thing. Fucking
Right.
Acid Girl beats Belly Button Dude. Um,
There's
but
one, I know that there's one fight where Ida literally just sprints towards the person, picks them up, and puts them out on the out of bounds.
the grass
And then
chick.
and then it's just like, yep, we're done, and bows.
Yeah, especially after that first round where he got turned into a 10-minute infomercial. He's like, no, nope. I got super speed. I'm fucking using it. Which I also did like in the cavalry battle, his first time using that super speed mode. He's like, look, we got 10 seconds.
Surprise.
Let's win this shit. Wait, what? Yeah. Muffler calves. But they fucking we get Bakugo versus Uraraka where everybody's like talking about the fight beforehand and then it goes on and Uraraka has a great showing. Like she does all like she takes advantage of the fact that Bakugo is Mr. Explosion Dude and just is gonna attack
Right.
very angrily with whatever comes to him and she
Hmm.
turns it into debris for a giant weapon.
What everyone in that stadium thought would be a squash,
Hmm.
she made a close fight.
Yeah. And she makes a close fight. He ends up winning though. Um and she has a moment with her family where she kind of you get to see the downside to not being the main character in these series. But they're very supportive and motivational. They're like, one, there's next year.
Yeah, I
Two,
love her
you're a
parents. Her
freshman in
parents are
high
wonderful.
school. It's fine.
All of her anxiety is completely self-applied. She has two lovely parents who adore her. She is just like, we have to make more money. I have to help them make money.
Because they're so supportive, she feels like she needs to go the extra mile just to make up how supportive her family is. She has to be worthy of these supportive ass parents. Um, Meanwhile, That's yeah, Shoto eventually tells Deku everything. He's like, I'm gonna win without using my father's powers because fuck that motherfucker. And his dad's like, I'm gonna have my son prove that he's the best. And he tries to talk some shit because after he talking with All Might, he tries to talk some shit to Deku, and Deku's like, I'm not All Might, and your son ain't you. Even if he does fucking use your powers and shit, that doesn't mean anything. You didn't win. He
Hmm.
won. But he says that to him, and then we get the match between those two. Um,
It's an awesome fight.
yeah, because Deku's doing his shit. Like I will give Deku, like I will say, Deku's not my favorite character in the series, but I also am not gonna shit on Deku. Do I like how much he cries? No, but I get it. He's a teenager. He's also the main character. I'm not talking about when he's crying when he's in pain. Actually, he cries the least when he's in pain.
Right. No, yeah.
It's just one of those things where I'm like, come on, man, you ain't gotta cry that much. Calm down. But anyway,
That's one of the reasons why I
the
love him.
little cool
That's
moments.
one of the reasons why I like him. Men are allowed to cry, Omari. At
That
happy
much.
things, at sad
That
things.
much. That
Yeah,
much. I'm
absolutely.
just saying. I'm not saying he's not allowed to cry. I say that much.
Sure.
There are words that I use. But
I'm saying yes.
yeah, fair enough. But yeah, he ends up he has a great showing because he starts using it with the fingers to like try and not do it. He even does get off one punch that doesn't blow up his arm. But it comes to the fucking climax because it gets to a point to where he's telling him like, "Hey, Uraraka fighting her ass off. Everybody's fighting their ass off. I'm fighting my ass off, and you're over here shitting on us, talking about how you gonna win without trying. For real. I'm winning with half my power." And he's like, no, this is some bullshit. And I do like his point where he's like, look at me. You've yet to put a single scratch on me because I did all this damage to myself. It's like, yeah, that is kind of crazy that he's persevered through all that. Um, but we get the final fight because he does eventually decide to use his fire against him. He deems Deku worthy of using the fire powers. They have their giant like
You said that
clash.
for Bakugo's sake. You
They have
son of
their
a bitch.
clash
You
with the
are a
teachers,
Bakugo.
where the teachers separate them. They separated with Cementos. I do like Cementos and his fucking cement power. They're like,
Right.
yeah, he can control concrete. So in the modern day civilization, he's kind of fucking broken.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But no, the big explosion, Deku loses, Shoto wins. Shoto advances to the semifinals. Fucking Ida advances to eventually fight Shoto. Tokoyami and Hard Dude end up having to fight Bakugo. They don't have a good time against Bakugo. Hard Dude had a good showing, but eventually Bakugo just wore him down with his explosions. He exploded too much. Turns out Bakugo's just a bad matchup for Tokoyami because the light from explosions is the weakness to the Dark Bird.
Right.
Damn, bad matchup. Um, and Ida eventually, after losing to Shoto in a pretty cool match, like because he for for what he can do when he's like, I got mufflers in my calves and I'm going against fucking Super Kid. For what he can do, he does very well, but he wasn't going to win.
Yeah.
We kind of knew this. And so yeah, Shoto wins. And then things get worse for Ida as he gets a call. His brother's in the hospital. He's gotta leave. Because his brother ran into the hero killer Stain. Um
When your name is the hero killer Stain, like your name is Stain, and then somebody at some point added the hero killer. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, and that leaves us with our grand finals: Bakugo versus Todoroki.
Uh-huh.
Bakugo sees Todoroki before the fight, calls him out, tells him to use his power against him because he wants to prove that he can actually beat him at his best. Because to be fair, everybody had Todoroki walking away with that victory easily because he's Todoroki. And Bakugo's trying to prove that he can beat him. But much like Deku doesn't want Todoroki to sit here and half-ass beat everybody or to beat everybody without trying. Bakugo also takes Todoroki not using his fire against him as not really trying. And when everybody thinks that you don't have a chance against the dude, when you eventually win, like he did, without the dude actually trying, people are like, yeah, you won, but that's only because he didn't try. So Bakugo's upset when he finally wins against Todoroki because Todoroki's like, yeah, I used my fire against Deku, but I just don't feel the same fighting you. Sorry, man. I don't care. I don't care. You got it. And so he throws it. Um,
And also, no character at all anywhere in this series utters anything to the extent of, well, yeah, but he didn't really win because Todoroki didn't use half of his powers. Like, like,
but that's how it can be perceived.
by
And when you're
a
trying to be
certain segment of people.
when you're trying to prove that you're the best, you don't want people being like, yeah, but you had to, get teammates. Yeah, you won, but yeah, you won, but you want people to be the like, yeah, that's that motherfucker undisputed. No one can fucking touch him. You would much rather be a Michael Jordan than a LeBron James when it comes to reputation. Bakugo wants to be a Michael Jordan. He's not even a LeBron James because Shoto exists.
Mhm.
But that's so he's just
Bakugo
trying.
is a ridiculous character at this point. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It
Yes.
is ridiculous his level of reaction to this moment. It's
Yeah, I don't think he needed to be that mad that he won without, that he won in a disputed fashion. I will definitely say that.
that he becomes like a rabid dog.
Yeah, like I
No,
don't think it needs to be
I
that
don't think he
crazy.
should either.
I don't think it needs to be that crazy. Like, while I can understand being upset that people are always going to question your victory, it ain't that serious, yo. Because at the end of the day, you got the trophy. Tell him to try next time. It's not my fault he didn't try. It's like how people say when you like win a tournament match by DQ or something, and you're like, ah, okay, well, that person should have shown up. It's not my fault that he didn't show up. I got the win by DQ. Not me personally. I don't really count those wins as
hmm
wins.
hmm
And I'm talking about when I get them. I don't count them as wins. I don't count DQ wins as wins because you didn't actually beat them. Nothing was proven. But yes.
Was a winner or a loser declared
What? In this? Yeah, Bakugo won.
in your scenario?
I mean,
Is there a winner or a loser declared?
by technicality, yes.
By the rules of the game that you're playing.
I said by technicality, yes. What do you mean by rules of the game I'm playing?
By the rules of the game you were playing, there was declared a winner and a loser.
Yeah, but I'm
So
not
you
gonna
beat that
like,
person.
okay. All I'm saying is if I'm going head to head against Justin Wong and Justin Wong didn't wake up on time, so the bracket says that I won because he was DQ'd for not showing up to the pool. I can't go around going, I beat
I
Justin
mean,
Long.
okay, not showing up. I didn't realize that that's what DQ, that's what
Well,
you were referring
yeah,
to in a DQ.
yeah,
I guess, yeah, not like when you said earlier not showing up, I thought you were meaning like
yeah.
metaphorically
Oh no.
of like, oh, he didn't show, like he didn't have that dog in him today. He didn't
Oh
show up.
no.
So,
Oh no.
uh,
Like, no, if I don't care if he just wasn't feeling it in tournament match. If I beat the motherfucker on screen KO 2 out of 3 games, I'ma say I beat Justin. Now, if game 3 was him accidentally hitting the pause button, I'm still gonna say I beat him, but I can't be like I can only say it like every once in a while. You know what I
right.
mean? Because there's still that little asterisk. Yeah, but what if he didn't pause
You could have beat him because you beat him that other
though?
round.
Yeah. I beat him the other round. I beat him enough rounds for the pause round to count. I beat him enough rounds for the pause round to say I win.
Yeah, yeah, you're not like Bakugo at all.
No, I'm not that crazy. I've also never won a tournament. I've also never
At
won a tournament.
all. That's what I said. At
But
all.
no, he did win.
No, that's what I said is you're not like him at all.
Oh, okay. I thought you're still trying to. Well, you are, but like still trying to be sarcastic. You are, but it is what it is. But yeah, we get a little bit of the aftermath of the tournament. Tenya or Ida sees his brother in the hospital. That's pretty sad. Uh, Meanwhile, speaking of being relatives in the hospital, Todoroki goes to see his mom in the mental hospital. His dad put her in after she
Uh-huh.
burned him. Um, and then we get the little end credits where we see like little shots of other people's family. Fucking Deku's mom loves him. Ochaku's parents love him. And then your boy Bakugo yelling "die" at the germs in his mouth as he brushes his teeth. I'm like, why is this scene here? Now there is a scene later on in the
Like I
show.
don't know, like that's what like I don't know how they let him stay in the school. I don't like I don't know this world's rules, but
So
like I would have kicked him out of the school a long time before this. The man screams "die" every time he's attacking somebody.
he does,
He
but he
screams "I
also
will kill you." Like
he
these are not good things to scream.
yes, but his actions, though mostly explosion related, end up screaming louder because he usually does end up trying to like help people and fight villains and stuff. Um, like so he has like any of the like written tests and stuff like that. I think they do eventually point out like despite him being like yell yell die 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 or as his personality thing, he actually is this I think second or third smartest student in the class. I think the
Oh no, yeah,
smartest is
he's
Momo.
depicted. He's not depicted as an idiot.
Yeah, the smartest
There's
one
several
is
moments where they're like, "Oh, he's actually calculating this. He's not just some dumb guy blasting forward."
but that's definitely the image he gives off is dumb guy blasting forward.
Right.
And I think I saw someone describe it where they also prefaced it like, yeah, bullying is never going to be right. But at the end of the day, just like Deku is a high schooler, and so his emotions are high and he's crying all the time, whether or not that's right or wrong. Bakugo is in high school. His emotions are running high. Unfortunately, emotions are anger. And he also just kind of, that's just his way of, like I said, he's an abrasive person. I'm not saying you gotta like him because I'm gonna be honest with you.
He's absolutely an
It
abrasive
wasn't
person. I don't
until
think he has any
about,
redeeming qualities. Like you said earlier, of like, oh, he does fight for good. It's like, does he? He fights for exams.
well,
And then maybe I'd argue for you at best he's fighting a person who is bad, but only
also,
because he just wants to like beat that
okay.
guy.
Yeah. So I don't know how much interest you have in continuing the story.
I
But
mean, I've already thought about that, and I haven't made a decision yet because it really is going to depend on the length of content left. Uh,
gotcha.
I'm interested, and I enjoyed my time,
Oh
but
yeah.
I also don't know if I want to devote any more time
Yeah. Well,
to it.
it's like as I talk about certain things when you talk about like, well, I know the answer to your question, but I don't
So,
want
like,
to
if I'm
like
halfway
give
to
you
the
the thing
end,
of the
then
series.
yeah,
No,
then
no.
no, I'm probably not going. I'm not going to
Gotcha.
finish it. I
Gotcha.
may finish this
Gotcha.
season potentially
Gotcha. There,
someday.
fair. Then I guess I'll just like say
Yeah,
like
just say whatever,
as
say
it
anything.
as
Spoilers.
the series does go on, there is more development with Bakugo, including a point to there's one point where they do finally have a heart to heart where the two kind of express that they've both been seeing the way the other person perceives them entirely wrong the whole time. Also, Bakugo takes a lot more L's despite him be at least in a grander scheme of things. Like there is there are some key moments in the story that he eventually starts blaming himself for as well. Whereas he gets to this like head moment with Deku or whatever. But after they have their little big fight there and going forth throughout the series, he definitely he's always gonna be like abrasive. But it's one of those things where people just kind of that's Bakugo. He just says die a lot. But does he become more heroic? Yes. He never becomes a villain.
Okay. All right.
He never becomes
That's
a villain. Also, he likes All Might not as much as Deku, but pretty much they both decided at the same age that they were going to be All Might fans, but they saw it
right.
for different reasons. Deku at 4 sees All Might doing these things, and he's the best hero because he will save so and so, so and so, and so and so with this. Bakugo's head, All Might's the best because he wins every fucking time and doesn't let anybody beat him. So his idea of being the number one hero is being unbeatable by whoever you come across. Now, granted, ego and like I said, bullying and all that stuff. And is there a full-on apology later on, and him and Deku are on perfectly fine terms? Sure. But as far as whether or not bullies deserve redemption or anything, that's not me to say. Because there are
Yeah.
plenty of
I don't know,
people who
maybe because it's attached with explosions, bullying feels like the wrong word that you keep using. Every time you say the word bullying, I'm like, that's not what this is. He's like he may not become a villain, but he is a villain in this series. Like he's not on the level of the guys who are actually literally committing murder. But there's also several moments where he's kind of trying to kill Deku.
no,
Is
no,
what the show is
no.
depicting.
They actually have what's his name? All Might actually say the opposite. He's expecting like he's like he'll be fine as long as he dodges and all this stuff. He's also expecting Deku to survive like during that fight. He's like he'll dodge it, especially because he thinks Deku's just holding out on him,
Right,
and
I
he's just
understand
trying
what
to
All
get
Might is
Deku to act.
thinking,
No, I'm
but
saying even
I
fucking
think the
Bakugo.
desire in Bakugo's heart in the we're playing criminals, we're playing good guys game. I think the desire in Bakugo's heart is to fucking murder that man,
No, well,
and he doesn't succeed.
he spends the majority of the fight telling Deku to actually start using his quirk against him. And so he's going all out, expecting Deku to eventually do the damn same. Because I think when obviously he's punching down, we all know he's punching down on Deku. But in his head, especially once Deku like embarrassed him, well, embarrassed in his mind in front of the fucking class by out throwing him. and all of that shit. It's like, oh, okay. I clearly whatever I've been showing this motherfucker wasn't enough for him to take me seriously before. So fuck it. If you really as good as you is, you'll dodge this, and if not, I fucking win. Like, do I think he's purposely like, oh, I'll only burn
No,
10%
I
of
think
his
that
body? No, I think his thing
from
is
my
he's
viewership,
actually trying.
I think that scene is depicting that boy seeing red. And if there was no All Might, if there was no UHA or something, and if Deku didn't get powers 3 days ago, or like didn't have the level of powers that Bakugo isn't aware of yet, like where his power set can go and stuff. If
Mm.
all at this point that Bakugo knows is that he can flick a baseball really far, I can't
Oh,
really
he's got super
I'm
strength,
not
clearly, is what I'm saying.
I'm not positive on the yeah, on the exact timeline here, but like I believe that scene appears like it is depicting that character seeing red, and that scene isn't ending until Deku is like not moving anymore. Like he's
Yeah.
like I don't know. Yeah, I don't see any, although the show isn't really giving it to me, but I don't see any redeeming qualities in he's not nice to anyone, even the people who are his friends. Um
At least not early
and
on.
he's constantly rageful, he's constantly aggressive. He's constantly pushing the edge and trying to take things
Yeah.
farther.
Like I said, it took me like 60 episodes or so before I was like actually full on like, you know what? You can stay Bakugo. And then eventually I'm like, okay, probably in the top five of my characters throughout the series. But number one, no, All Might exist. And then other characters that get introduced. But by especially by series end, it's one of those things where, like I said, it grows on you. So some of the things, it's like some of the characters treat it. Eventually, it's like, okay, clearly he actually would have wanted to kill any of these kids. He would have fucking done it a long time ago. He's just saying he says shit, and you know what I mean. Kind of like how the pervy kid's the pervy kid. What's your quirk? I say, or no, I can't say what's your quirk when people's superpowers are literally called quirks. But what's your quirk? I do to this thing. And he's like a, a male take on a genre that I don't necessarily like in general, where it's like the person that, even if they have affection towards someone, they can't say it. So they just kind of insult them instead. It's a trope in anime that certain characters have. Unfortunately, I do think that's one of his. But like I said, there are heartfelt moments later and there's moments of growth. End of the day, everybody in high school. Does Deku, you know, grow throughout the series? Yes. Is Bakugo a more deep character than Deku? No. But like you said, Deku ain't even a more deep character than Shoto.
I mean,
Which
the
they
only
do
thing
go
about
further into that as the series goes on.
Deku is he's the only one that's like just depicted to be, maybe him and Ida are depicted to just be altruistic characters. Like they are just they're the it's got to be done for the moment, for like for the sake of good. People
Mhm.
will get hurt or people will die or unless I do this thing. Um that's kind of why I think I end up go riding with Midoriya, is just that pure altruism in him thing. And then after that I would probably go Todoroki, just
Mhm.
because of that last 5 episodes there are very solid.
Well, those are good stocks to invest in, as Todoroki stocks.
I would imagine. As far as like side characters barely. As I do like the little horny guy. I think it's funny. Um, like I don't love the other side of the coin of the fan service most of the time, but like the little horny guy was funny to me, and then the frog girl, and then I like Birdman. Birdman's really cool.
That's what I said earlier when I was like, maybe Birdman, Tokiyami, because he's
Uh,
awesome.
and yeah, it kind of like I guess I'm waiting to I feel like we're holding back him at night. Like I wonder if this tournament had taken place at night, would he have leveled everybody kind of thing.
That is a good question. But no, they do go into more stuff about him in Darkness as the series goes on. He's a character. I think the characters and how much shine they get throughout the tournament is a pretty good scale about how much you're gonna see them throughout the series, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like some people
Hmm.
in the class, you're probably not gonna focus on that often. Tailman, we like your tail, man. You got a tail. You know,
The pink alien looking girl.
think alien looking girl, will we focus on her more than a tail man? Sure. Are we gonna focus on her as much as Hard Boy? Probably not. Are we gonna focus on Hard Boy as much as a Birdman or a Bakugo or the others? Probably not. It's something
Or
like that.
the dude drawn with giant lips.
Oh yeah, he who didn't even make it to the tournament. Him and the silent dude that the Birdman was with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yeah, you can pretty much get an idea of like, okay, if they were in this tournament, we probably will care about them in some certain capacity. Like we do get a bit more from Shinzo throughout the series, in his path to try and become a hero. Um, we actually see some cool moments with Monoma as the series goes on too. Fucking copy boy. But no, there's some ups and downs to the series. If you want to finish season two, I would say go
Hmm.
ahead and do that. The whole hero killer Stain saga. See what's going on with that.
I do
But
see eventually they introduce a high school alumnus who's just a pair of jeans. He's just a head poking out of a pair of jeans.
oh,
The
so
best
that's
jeanist.
Best Genus, and he's the number 3 or 4 ranked hero. He's got powers over Denim. Um, and you don't fuck with Best Genus. And he's also a character who becomes pivotal in the character growth of one Bakugo Katsuki. Oh yeah, by the way, eventually people choose superhero names and they keep telling Bakugo he can't pick the names he wants to pick because they don't sound like superhero names. Like
I wonder why,
Lord
because he's not a superhero, he's a supervillain.
Explosion Murder, so and so, something like that. They're like, no. And then
Deathman.
it all involved like explosions and shit. But eventually, when it gets to a point to where everybody has names and stuff, they're like, "Did you ever pick a name?" Some shit happens with Genus where he's like, "No, I'm not telling anybody my name until I tell him what my hero name is first," type shit. And then it's like super death explosion god dynamite, might spelled Might. And he treats it like a pimp named Slickback, where you gotta say the whole thing. Some here like, "Hey, Dynamite, come over here." It's super meth, which it's easier to say in Japanese, whatever the fucking phrase is. It's like one word dynamite, but it translates to like 5 words over here, so it's even more ridiculous. Apparently, it's also a play on his name mixed into the dynamite reference to All Might. Deku's superhero name becomes
Mini Might.
No. Deku.
Okay.
Because Deku's the name of a hero in the English version.
Oh, that's literally just the word for hero.
No, and he goes, "My Deku's gonna be the name of a
Oh,
hero," because, like I said, Bakugo. I don't remember the exact translations in Japanese, but Bakugo called him Deku instead of Izuku as some kind of insult. But because Japanese is a nuanced language and kanji can be pronounced the same while meaning different things, Ochako, the girl, had heard Deku and she thought it sounded more like "you can do it" or something inspirational. And when she first says that, he's like, "Oh, I'm Deku then," because a girl's talking to me and she thinks that
right,
Deku sounds cool. I'm not letting this go. And then he has his moment when he's fighting Bakugo in that first test where he's like, "I don't care what you say. My name Deku's gonna be this instead. I'm reclaiming it." In the English version, he's like, "Deku's the name of a hero." And eventually his superhero name he chooses is just Deku.
is just Deku. Okay.
Just like Todoroki just chooses Shoto. He just chooses his first name. And they're like, really? You don't want to be like something like involving hot and cold? Nah.
Yeah.
To be fair,
He's just a hair too emo to be my favorite character.
everybody knows who he is anyway. He's literally the second most popular hero's son
Right.
and shares his last name. It's like, yeah, why hide it? It's me.
And just showcased really impressively at this world's Olympics.
But yeah, anyway, that is My Hero Academia. We went a bit long.
Alrighty. Alrighty.
All right, so that's it. We will watch something else next week. Do you have any idea?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, we'll watch something next week.
All right,
We'll
well, we'll
surprise everyone
surprise
with it.
them. I like that idea. If you want to see other stuff of ours, go ahead check it out on this channel. We've got 4 years worth of content and stuff like that. We also have a show on Saturdays called You Don't Watch Sports. Two guys, three topics, sprinkle a little information to your casual sports conversation. Be a guiding light through the sea of casual sports talk. We also have a show called Mock Draft, where we do some wrestling talks and stuff like that. Have a hot take video on there from recent times with Super Jazz and Big Bro.
Super
Thank you
Jazz.
very much, as nature intended, as well as Big Bro Ibn. I also have a Twitter and Twitch at Giotavi. That is
Big bro.
Giotavi. Come on in, stop on by. Shout outs to the Big Bro. Bill, got anything else you want to say? All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Adiosness.